What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mod Squad Network's Conversations with the Mod Squad. I'm your host, as always, Kevin, always joined by Felix.
What's up?
And this week's guest is Chantel Hills from the show Chantel Hills on YouTube. How's it going this week?
I'm good. How are you going?
Oh,
Doing good.
going pretty good. Going pretty good. So the first question I always like to ask is, what exactly is Chantel Hills on YouTube, and how did that show come about?
Okay, that's a great question. So it is a channel where I help people with live streaming, and not just the technical side of live streaming, but also sort of the mental game. Because like you guys know, live streaming is a mental game as much as it is understanding the technical side of it.
Agreed.
It sort of started from, I ran a whole other business. It was a yarn crafting business. And a couple of years ago, I got really sick and I had to do this massive pivot. I had to cancel out my biggest income earner. I had to drop 70% of my income in one doctor's appointment. And I was chatting with a good friend of mine, Justin Brown, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be able to stay on YouTube. I'm going to have to go and get a muggle job. And I don't want a muggle job. I've been my own boss now for like 15 years. And I don't want to leave YouTube. I love it too much. And he was just like, you need to be helping people with YouTube. That's what, because I help people in his group, in the Primal Video Accelerator group. And he's just like, you need to be doing this. And then I realized I love it so much that it was worth a try. I was like, I'm not going to do this. Like, there's Nick Nimmin, there's Justin Brown, there's, Daryl Lee's, all these people. And I'm like, I don't need to be in this, fishbowl. But I'm a little pebble in a back corner, and I'm quite happy with my little pebble in the back corner of that fishbowl, helping who want to live stream.
I love it. I love it. And that's the good thing about YouTube. There's a spot for everybody, to tell you the truth. So I do love YouTube. I do love content creation as well. All right. So if your fans are not aware of what we do here, what we're going to do is we're going to get to know Chantel on more on a personal level, but in a lighthearted type of way. We're going to start off with some word association questions from Felix. I'm going to ask some thought-provoking questions, and then we're going to finish off with some rapid fire this or that. Are you ready to get into it?
I am.
All
nervous, right. But yes.
All right, Felix, let's go ahead and start this off with some word association.
All right, Chantel, here's a little word association. Just whatever pops into your head first.
Okay.
All right, we got Western.
Hotels.
Hero.
Content.
Desire.
Yarn.
Network.
People.
Storm.
Amazing.
Adventure.
Not my thing.
Bizarre.
My life.
Memory.
Happiness.
Sky.
Grey.
Desert.
Hot.
Fear.
A lot.
My last one, cheeseburger.
Yum.
Yum indeed.
It. Yes.
Yum.
Oh, and I like when you said fear and you said a lot. I'm like, well, you're in Australia. There's a lot of things over there that can hurt you.
Yeah.
At least that's what all of us Americans are born to, are fed anyway. It's like Australia is dangerous.
We have different dangers. Like in Australia, we're told to fear America. America is dangerous. And it's just a cultural differences, really.
It is.
Like I've got a child, and well, she's not a child now. She's 19. But I'd heard this. Australia is something to be. There's so many things to be afraid of. And I was like, no, there's not. No, there's not. And then as I was raising my child, I realized, yeah, there is. Yep. Yeah. Like as you're like, okay, when you're walking through the yard, don't just step on sticks. You've got to double check it is a stick, and things like that, and just little things that you don't even realize. And I'm half an hour drive from a capital city, so I'm not out in the sticks. I am suburbia big time. So, we have Facebook groups where someone will be like, oh, watch out on this street. We've just seen a brown snake crossing the street, which is is in the 10 top most venomous snakes in the world. But in my life, I have been up close and personal to 3 snakes. 2 of them are green tree snakes, which they're just snakes. They don't hurt you. They can't kill you. They might hurt if they bite you, but they can't kill you. I've been bitten by multiple spiders, and so when people tell me huntsmans can't hurt you, I just go, yeah, they can. They really do hurt. But for the most part, it's just be aware. Like, I don't like bugs, so I get my house sprayed all the time. So I get less bugs than other people probably.
So it's just different culture, which is...
I think it's just a different culture.
Yeah.
I do. Like, we don't have rattlesnakes. Like, you guys have rattlesnakes.
No, we got them here for sure, yeah.
Yeah, and it's also different from state to state as well. There's some states that have got more deadly spiders than Queensland. I'm in Queensland. So if you go into the southern states, there's trapdoor spiders and things like that are just in the ground. Like, you don't walk outside I think it's summer, without thick shoes on. Because they live in the grass, and they make little, you don't see them.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know much about them because they're not really a thing here. So, just and so I'm like, oh my god, I never go outside in New South Wales without shoes on.
Well, I do want to follow up on Felix's cheeseburger though, and the question I want to ask you is a hot dog a sandwich?
Look, I actually got very confused by the definition of sandwiches in the USA when I was there for a visit. Because for a sandwich, for me, requires 2 pieces of flatbread.
Yes.
So it is like the chicken sandwiches from KFC, they're not sandwiches, they're chicken burgers. And, so we have someone was like, do you want a chicken sandwich? So I'm expecting like shredded barbecue chicken on a sandwich with some lettuce and mayo. That's what I was expecting. That's not what I got.
It can be a little,
consider a hot dog a sandwich.
Me
a hot
either.
Dog is a hot dog.
We're on the same page. We are definitely on the same page.
Yeah.
All right. When I think of a hot dog, though, I think of going to an event, and I love wrestling. I love going to wrestling events because when that wrestler comes through that curtain, you know exactly who he is and what he's all about. Yeah. If you had a theme song that played every time you walked into a room, what would it be?
The Wii waiting room music.
The Wii waiting room music?
Yeah. Like, okay. The Wii games?
I gotcha.
Took me a second.
I love that. I love that answer, by the way. That is awesome.
Yeah, I realized the other day it runs through my head all the time, and I had no idea where I was getting it from. And then my daughter was going retro. It's terrifying when the Wii is considered retro, but anyway. And I could hear it, and I'm like, that's a song that's been stuck in my head for 3 days.
Oh, I love it. We're going to stay with music, though. What is your guilty pleasure car karaoke song? You know that one that comes on the radio and you kind of roll the windows up, turn the radio all the way up and just sing as loud as you can, but kind of embarrassed that you do.
I have a confession.
Mm-hmm.
My windows always stay up because no matter what song is on, that's going to happen. Like, it's just going to happen. But at the moment, it's Lose Control from Teddy Swims and also pretty much anything from Radio Company. So
very cool.
Yeah. So I like all different musics. I was thinking about the question. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to answer that question. Because one minute it's a pop song and the next minute it's like a country rock song and then the next minute it's like 80s power ballad and that was the answer for this exact moment.
Yeah, my playlist is broken. It goes everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck YouTube suggesting music that I feel like listening to right now.
We're going to stay in the car, though, and I want to know, what is the farthest you've ever traveled from home for vacation?
And that's driving.
You know, in this instance, it could be anywhere. It could be driving, flying.
All right. So I think they're about similar distance apart. So my flying holiday was New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about a 3-hour flight. Whereas a driving holiday was like Central Victoria, which if I flew to Melbourne, it's about a 2 to 3 hour flight. But we drove with her. At the time, she was 4, so we stopped every 4 hours. So it took days.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but I quite often would go to the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show, which is this massive event, and it was not a vacation technically. I had a stall there, I was working, but it was where I went to hang out with my people. Everyone loved yarn craft, and it's like Midsummer, but for yarn crafters.
Oh, very cool.
And so it was just this phenomenal place where like 40,000 people would come through over the weekend, and but that would take me 2 days straight of driving. I would go down by myself, and it would be 13 hours on the first day, and then 10 hours on the second day of driving to get there.
That's a lot of driving.
It's a lot of driving. And you know what it's like? On your way down, you're pumped and you're hyped, but when you're on your way back, you are just shattered.
Oh, the way back feels like it's twice or 3 times as long than it was.
Yeah, like I'm pulling over for naps.
Yep.
like I just need a 15-minute power nap. Set that alarm and just lock the doors.
But okay, that isn't distance. How about time though? If you could travel 10 years to the past or 10 years to the future, but only for 24 hours, which way would you go and why?
I don't really know. I'm more of a in the moment kind of person. I think I would probably go to the future because the past is done. And while there might be things that I would want to change, I believe in like the butterfly effect. So if they went back in the past and I changed even one little thing, it could destroy something that I absolutely love. So I don't want to do that. But I would be curious to see where I would be in 10 years from now. So just with how many pivots and changes and, you know, like I want to see what my daughter's up to. She's 19 now, so she'd be 29. I'd be like, did you finish your uni degree? Like I'd be just checking up. Helicopter parent incoming. Watch out.
Oh, that's a good one. That's definitely a good one.
Yeah.
All right, how about a little color theory though? If you could describe, how would you describe the color purple to a blind man?
It would be the deepest passion as a color.
Ooh, okay.
You like that?
So passion.
Yeah.
Passion.
Yeah, I
like
equate
it.
passion with purple.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Now we're going to get into something a little bit more personal. What is the funniest thing to ever happen to you that you can legally talk about?
Yeah, that's the catch, isn't it? I don't really know. The funniest thing that's ever happened to me. I don't really like. I know of one instance where everyone else laughed really hard at me, but I don't know if I want to share that one. It's probably a little too personal. It was me versus a water slide and swimwear malfunction. Yeah, and my brother was at the bottom, and he just roared with laughter. And I'm like, don't you tell anybody. And by the time I had changed colour and gone back to the group, everybody knew. I was just like, thanks.
That'll do it. That'll definitely do it.
Well, there you go. I shared it. I shared that one. There
those
we go.
those
That's
water
it.
slides are a pain, man. Trust me.
It was. Like, you know, I was an adult. I wasn't a child. Like it was like all of us went as a group with all of our kids to a water park, and it was such a fun and amazing day until that point. Everyone else thinks it's like the absolute highlight of the day. It was so hilarious. Me, not so much.
The best thing I can tell you is you're not the first that'll happen to, and you definitely won't be the last. So.
No. But that was the last time it'll happen to me. I'll never go on that slide again. I will
Well,
not.
Lesson learned.
yeah,
Yep,
live and
yep.
learn.
Yep.
If you were to poll your family and friends, what would they say you're most known for?
Oh, look, if you're polling my brothers, it's being bossy. Because they deserve it.
Most men do. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna stick up for us. We do.
I don't know. I think it's concern for others, like making sure they're okay, making sure that anything I can do to help them out has been done.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, they'll probably be like, she's a lunatic.
No, I know several people like that, and I appreciate them more than I actually say. So, to anybody out there who's watching this and they are that type of person, I definitely want to thank you for sure.
Agreed.
Because it's helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question is, I'm a Superman guy. I love Superman. I read comics all the time. I love his superpowers. But if you had one superhuman power, what would it be? And would you use it for good or evil?
So I'm definitely chaotic good when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I would create chaos, but in a good way, hopefully. But I think being someone with less mobility, I think something like flying or super speed or something like that feels so alien, because I've had busted knees for 25 years. And so I don't have even walking speed. Like I have to hold on and control fall downstairs. I can't. Even one of my knees doesn't bend fast enough to do stairs down. I can go up, but I can't go down. So my superpower would be going downstairs without holding on.
I like it.
But yeah, like something like super speed or super agility or something like that. That would be amazing.
I think the older I get, the superhuman power I need the most is super healing, because everything hurts and
Everything. That's actually an amazing one. Can I change my answer?
yeah, of course.
Because that would just solve all the rest of it, right? Like if you were just in tip-top pristine condition all the time.
Always healthy, which is definitely not the case, at least for me.
No, not for me either.
Like I said though, I love reading comics. That is one of my medias of choice. What single piece of media, whether it be a book, a movie, or TV show, has had the most influence on the person you are today?
I think there was a book that I read when I was a teenager, and it was called The Dragons of Pern. It's an Anne McCaffrey book. It's part of a series. It's about another planet. Like humans went and colonized other planets, and they kind of forgot about it. They went on for generations and generations, and some chaos happened, and they didn't realize they weren't actually from there, and that they'd actually created the dragons and all these sorts of things. So it was finding out that history and learning about themselves as an entire planet of people. And that reading that book, that fantasy novel, it was the first proper fantasy novel I ever read, and that opened up a whole new world for me. I wasn't into, like, I read Archie comics, but comics like what you guys get in the US, like those nice hardcover, beautiful, like graphic novels, basically.
The graphic novels.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, they weren't here. Like you could get the thin papery ones, but they were never great. At least in the areas that I lived, they weren't something that, like, my brothers didn't get them, nothing. And so I read a lot of literature growing up. I read a lot of Dickens and you know, Jane Eyre and Charlotte Bronte, like all these kinds of more classical reads, because I was like, I went to the library and that's what my mum was like, here, try this. I was an avid reader even from a really young age. I got accused of cheating in a reading competition in primary school to the point where the teacher called my mum in.
Oh, wow.
And it was just like, she says she's read all these 30 books in like the one school term, which is 8 weeks. And
You're like, yeah, I did. She did.
yeah, and my mum was like, yeah, have you met my daughter? Like, she's always got her nose in a book. She eats books. That's just, I have to go in and take the light bulbs out of her room so she will go to sleep because she wants to keep reading the book. And
I like it. You can make up more stuff in your mind than any sort of movie or TV show.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And one funny thing about reading everything is when you actually hear the real pronunciation of a word that you've kind of just, run with for 20 years. You're like, okay, cool.
I've been saying and pronouncing that wrong in my head the whole time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's happened. That's happened a couple times for sure.
Yeah, me too. Walking Dead, the Walking Dead comics, there was a name I kept saying to myself. Then when I watched the show, I'm like, oh, that's the name. Okay.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah. Because I'm like, now that I'm an adult and I get to choose my own content. I'm a Marvel girl. Sorry, Superman guys. But,
Well, he's a Marvel guy. I'm a DC. So
yeah, and I really have gotten into just enjoying what it is. I like everything. I like action movies. I'm a massive Gerard Butler fan of like Geostorm and all those kind of movies. I love Midsummer Murders. Do you guys know what Midsummer Murders is?
I do not.
It's like this British murder series of like a cop and his like junior cop, and they go around and solve all the mysteries in beautiful, picturesque, like Midsummer. And it's been going for 30 years, I think. It's been going forever, and it's basically they change detectives, and it used to be a case of, well, if you see this guy or his wife, you just get in your car and you leave, because half of the town you're in is about to die. Like
it seems like it's almost similar as when you say they changed detectives. It's almost similar to like a Doctor Who or something like that.
Sort of like this one. They got in there. It was a detective of the same name who happened to be a cousin who was a detective in another county who moved into this county. That now there's all this talk around who are they going to get to replace him. But
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's so it wasn't so much Doctor Who-ish where it just morphs into the next guy, or they just replace the actor. This is progressing with time. So as the first actor, him and his wife sort of retired and grew old, and their daughter got married, and then the new guys come in, and he's got a toddler, and and now his daughter is in high school, and it's like the life goes on and progresses, like just like for the rest of us.
I like that. So you can just follow the timeline. I like that. I like that a lot. I wish we had stuff like that. I wish we had stuff like that for sure.
They're hour and a half episodes, so like mini movies, or movies for TV. And you can just sit down and just throw it on. I need a lot of content that I can put on in the background while I'm making things. I can't sit and just watch television. And my husband always knows if I am sick or if I'm feeling too many feelings, because I will sit there with my craft in my lap and actually not be doing it. Whereas in the past 2 weeks, I've finished 2 blankets. I've started another blanket.
So you have to keep busy then.
Yeah, my hair, because I sort of just more listen to the content. My husband's like, you could listen to a podcast. I'm like, yeah, but I look up.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry. My husband has just arrived home.
Oh,
and
you're
my
good.
dog is letting us know.
Oh, what kind of dog you got?
I have a Havapoo. It's a Havanese toy poodle cross.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. I love the name of it, Havapoo.
Yeah.
I have a 3-pound Chihuahua. Her name is Cujo. I love my little dog.
Before Louis, we had a Chihuahua cross mini Foxy. I love little dogs. I love dogs where if there's an issue, you can just pick them up and walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't do that with mine. I have an 80-pound dog named Tater. So
Tater, like as in potatoes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
He's a pit bull boxer mix. He's the most loving dog I've ever had in my life. I love
They
it.
are. Like, there's so much, like, meanness and horribleness around some specific dog breeds, but I
Yeah.
know of little dogs that are more vicious than the
Oh,
big
yeah.
dog, you know? Like,
Oh yeah, definitely. He's just a big cuddle bug.
it's not breed specific, I don't think. I think, like greyhounds. Greyhounds are the laziest dogs, and they have to have their own couches with their feet in the air. It's hilarious. Like, they're just all legs.
Yep, they really are. They are all legs. All right, but speaking, we were talking about movies before, and what I want to know is if your life was a movie, what would the title be, and who would play you?
I think the title would be called, like, it would be What on Earth? And I think it would have to be a comedy drama with Melissa McCarthy, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she could bring the comedy.
Oh, she's hilarious. I love her in just about
and
everything.
She can, you know, like, we have these big jokes here where, you know, like, my husband will say something along like, do you want me to punch you in the throat? And he'll be like, sure. You know, like, so
Oh.
like, it's all in jest, it's all in joke.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I
yeah.
think she could pull that level of physical comedy off, as well as just the rest of the absolute,
Oh, I think she
like,
could too, for sure.
yeah, nightmare drama hilarity that is life.
Oh, I love a good movie. Actually, one of my favorite movies is Castaway, where Tom Hanks is stranded on a desert island.
Yeah, with
But if
Wilson.
you were stranded on a desert island, what 3 items would you take with you and why?
I would take an axe.
Okay.
I would take something that could hold water. It doesn't have to be full of water, it just has to be able to hold water. And I would take Band-Aids.
Don't want an infection. I like it. Yeah.
I can pretty much if I can cut something and I can carry something, I can pretty much make everything else.
I like it. I definitely like it. And you need the Band-Aids in case, you slip up with the
fingers.
axe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like sore fingers, so yeah. I'd be able to make, I could peel bark and make twine and make nets and do all the rest of it.
That's what's up.
long as I have-
All that yarn culture that's coming into play. Yeah.
I can spin, weave, dye, like whatever it is that needs to be done with yarn, I can make it from fluff and then go from there.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. If you could switch lives with someone, but just for a day, who would it be and why?
That's a really tough one. I try not to do that. Like, I try not to think about what it would be like to be someone else. But if I could switch lives for a day, I think I would choose someone like Jensen Ackles.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite familiar with that name.
He's a television actor, but he also sings and just is funny and just does so much stuff. He heads to conventions all the time, makes people laugh, makes them happy. It's a bizarre one, I know. Yeah.
Not really.
You travel the world, you get to, like, it depends on the day, obviously. But
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not unconventional. I mean, we're in the entertainment field, and you want to be somebody, you want to switch lives with someone who has a little bit more influence for entertainment. So I get it. I definitely get it.
Yeah. I think I'd like to just feel what it would feel like to make that many people happy.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, last couple questions I have for you is, what are your 1 year, your 5 year, and your 10-year goals?
I knew hate goals. I hate goals so
Goals
much.
are important, though. They are very important.
I know. I have this really terrible habit. If I make a goal and then don't meet it, I am really mean to myself.
Oh,
And can end up in like this emotional spiral for weeks. And so I have to be really careful with goals. So I have to make sure I make goals that I actually have control over. So because otherwise it is it's a downward hill thing. So a 1 year goal, I would like to actually start uploading some pre-recorded content on my channel. Semi-regularly, let's be realistic, semi-regularly. I live stream only, pretty much. And I think that I would like to, and across both channels, like ideally. Just like not weekly, let's be realistic, that's never gonna happen. But yeah, I think that would be something I could control and I could do in a year. In 5 years, I would love to be working for full time for another creator, being part, like, from the boots up. I actually, most of my income comes from working for other creators, but I freelance, so I've got like 4 different people that I work for, and I do bits here and bits there and bits here. What I would love is actually just to be working for either one creator or one company that's creator focused, and just be able to go all in on that. And then for 10 years, I don't really know. I don't make 10-year goals. Everything changes so much. Like in the last 10 years of my life, nothing has gone to how it was supposed to go. So
you know what? That's perfectly fair, because it can, the climate can change at any time.
That's true.
So, yeah,
everything can change.
I like it. All right. Well, no need for a 10-year there if you don't want to do it.
I
10
like
year.
to be a little bit fluid. I like to be out, like in say 5 years, I'd probably make another 5-year plan.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, last question I have for you is, if you took center stage to the world and had everybody by their ear, what would your message be?
Don't be dicks to each other. Like, seriously. Pull your head out and be nice. It's not that hard. Like,
I second that.
I third it for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Don't be a dick. That's like the perfect one.
Yeah.
All right, that is all I have for some thought-provoking questions. We're gonna finish off with some rapid fire this or that from Felix.
All right, so rapid fire this or that.
Have you met me, Felix? Do you know that me and rapid fire just don't work?
As close to as we can get.
Get comfy.
All right, is the term GIF or GIF?
Jiff.
Okay. Android or Apple?
Android.
DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Prince or Michael Jackson?
Look, I think that they're both insanely talented. Oof, I don't actually know. I'm sorry.
Okay. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Absolutely. On all the pieces. Add barbecue sauce. Do it.
Oh, interview's over. No.
It was nice to meet you. Cats or dogs?
Oh, both. All the animals. Except for, snakes and spiders and rats. Ugh.
Books or audiobooks? Audible, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So dead tree editions or digital, I like them both a lot. I can't actually choose. I do both.
Okay. Checkers or chess?
Chess.
All right. Wired headphones or wireless earbuds?
depends on the purpose. For right now, I'm like, bring on the wires. Like I'm wired in. Anything that means you've got less chance of failure. So,
Okay.
but then I sleep in wireless, so I have both every day, all day.
And my last one, is it soft or hard homemade tacos?
Soft every time. Hard tacos can go and die in a corner.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually think hard tacos are already dead in a corner.
Oh, wow. That's a hard stance on tacos, man.
Yeah.
I love a good taco. I had the absolute best tacos while I was in Texas.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never had tacos like it. They were brisket tacos. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I want to go back just for the tacos. Like,
some of the best food is
Can
right
I
here
do
in
that?
Texas. Yeah.
Can I do that? Can I go back to Dallas just for the tacos?
You can. I even have a couple places I could take you to. So, so
awesome.
good.
Awesome. Yeah, they were amazing.
All right. The last thing we have is, do you have anything coming up and anything you would like to promote, and where can people find you?
I don't have anything particular coming up. I live stream every Monday morning, 9 a.m. Brisbane time, which I think is about 8 p.m. Eastern on a Sunday night. I live stream talking all different things live streaming. So whether it's the software, whether it's the journey, whether it's the planning, and so everyone's welcome to jump in. You've jumped in, Kevin. Testing different softwares. Sometimes it's just talking about, dealing with the fact that maybe no one shows up to your live streams. Whatever it is that happens during a live stream, we talk about it. And also, I go off the rails all the time. And so, buckle in.
Sometimes it's putting together a chair. Just saying.
Sometimes it is putting together that was a special one. My Fiberific channel, I was testing out the new, YouTube's just rolling out a new goal feature for super chats. I thought, I'll test this out. Put in 10 super chats of teal level and above, and when this chair arrives, I'll do a special live stream. I did not expect them to want me to do a live stream so badly of me building a chair.
That was pretty cool.
Well, that's good.
It happened way too fast. I'm like,
you know what?
Should that goal have been higher?
That's awesome, because it lets you know you have dedicated fans, and that to me is really cool.
I
That's
have
true.
amazing communities. I have two amazing communities, and they are starting to come together on some things, which is really, really interesting, because they are such different, diverse groups of people, and they're just sharing in their love of watching live streams. Really, is what it's boiling to. Because that's the only connecting factor, is that they both enjoy watching live streams. One watches live streams of me crafting, and one watches me live stream talking about live streams. I find it all very, very odd.
It's a very interesting cross section. Very interesting. Yeah.
It really is. I just don't understand.
So what are your channel names while we're here?
Okay, so I have Chantel Hills, which is the live streaming channel, and Fiberific, Fiberific, which is all things Yarncraft.
And we will put both of those links in the description below. All right. Thank you for joining us. You have been an absolute pleasure on the show. I want to thank you so much for your time. I know it's you are in the future for us right now. So
Yeah.
I am in the future, and I got to bed at a little after 4 a.m. and then because I moderate Nick Nimmon's streams, and at 9 a.m. Eastern, which is midnight for me now, is when they start. And then got a few hours sleep, and then was back up and.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
It's been wonderful. So good to meet you both.
Oh, it's been a
Nice to meet
blast.
you.
All right, that does it for this episode of the Mod Squad Network's Conversations with the Mod Squad. So for Chantel and Felix, I am Kevin saying, if we don't see you again, thank you for being a friend.
See ya.